What is up, Jabronis? JJ back here from Pure Bets, here to talk a little bit of the madness. College basketball will be the second night of the Sweet 16. Yes, I'm doing this about 25, 30 minutes before tip of the first games on Thursday. Look, whether you watch it now, tomorrow, the next day, whenever, doesn't matter. Either way, this is when we're recording it. So, someone like myself can actually enjoy the games tonight. And you guys as well. So I'll get this video done for you, less than 15 minutes for sure. So I'll run through the games. I have a best bet I like, which I'll give you as well. Feel free to, poke around, ask any questions. I will happily answer them, or maybe I won't, pending the mood I'm in. As you can see, we're going with the forward hat today, changing things up a bit. Give me that like trucker look. But anyway, I like these. A little camo red. I'm a fan. Okay, so what's up, Snyder, as some people call him, Mitch. What's happening? And B-Rad, my man. How's everything? All right, so we'll talk on these games. Look, a lot to be excited about, right? I mean, Sweet 16 with maximum 2 games on at the same time. Plenty of juicy games as well. As you guys know, we already talked last night's games in the video prior. So if you haven't checked that out, feel free. Again, relatively short video, I think under 15 minutes. On this video, quick, we'll talk Purdue, St. Peters, Kansas, Providence, UCLA, North Carolina, and Miami, Iowa State. Looking first up, Purdue and St. Peters. Purdue minus 12.5, total 133.5. I mean, in all honesty, imagine Purdue drawing this matchup. I mean, what a gift on their end. Look, this is literally one of the smallest D1 teams versus one of the biggest. Williams and Edey will be a handful for this Jersey City bunch. St. Peters has looked very good defensively here in this tournament, but will literally have to play their best defensive game of the tournament here if they're going to upset Purdue. Purdue can be outmatched physically against another long team, if so, and they could certainly be had athletically against a team that would bring that to the table. The issue is that St. Peters likely will not challenge them in either category. It's a huge number, though, and at this point in a tournament, it's always tough to cap how motivated another team is to blow out the other. Purdue has so many mismatches, though. I mean, look, Kentucky had mismatches against St. Peters, but those were different types of mismatches. Purdue could literally just feed their 2 big men underneath and play sock and bop and robots underneath the hoop, or let a double team come and just kick out to shooters, snipers, if you will. I'm going to avoid this game betting-wise, but I would lean to Purdue going over their team total. If I look at their current number, it's probably, like 76? Let me just peek that real quick for you guys. Again, this wouldn't be a best bet for me by any means, but it would be a spot that I wouldn't mind targeting. And again, that has all to do with the matchup nightmares. Oh, of course, I can't pull it up here in Jersey. But yeah, I would assume that team total is going to be around 76-ish. I wouldn't mind that to go over. All right, so next game up. Kansas, minus 7.5 versus Providence, total 141.5. Providence, the quote-unquote most overrated team in D1, just continues to punish sports bettors in a major way. I mean, this team has been fisting sports bettors who've been fading them because they're, overrated. It feels like all season long, right? I mean, at this point, how can anyone not believe this team is at least somewhat for real? And sure, maybe you blame the advanced numbers on this team and the advanced metrics on this team. But I tell you what, when you watch them play, this team fits the bill eye test wise. Quite a matchup here for them, though, against the Jayhawks. Good news for the Friars is that this is the right time to play Kansas, because this is right around the time where Kansas tends to piss down their leg in the March Madness tournament. They almost lost to 4 total players on Creighton. Matchup-wise, though, lots of advantages for Kansas here. Kansas should dominate the glass in this one. And Providence's path to winning is going to be getting to the stripe often, early and often. Something they've done at an elite level all year. They're going to have to do it and have to draw contact against, a Kansas team that's been somewhat handsy throughout the season. Providence is a confident team coming in, and I really can't count them out here. But I do have a Kansas Elite 8 future at dog money on the line here, so I'm just going to pass on this game and kind of root that one in. Next up, UCLA versus North Carolina. UCLA minus 2, total 141.5. This is my best bet from the video. UCLA minus the 2 big ones here is what I like. UCLA is another team I have in the Final Four, and while Jaquez, injury was scary, it looks like he will play. It's no secret, North Carolina is going to want to run here, run some more. UCLA will aim to really slow this game down and run their sets, but UCLA has to get back in transition every possession. Otherwise, expect a lot of layups from North Carolina on their end. I think what North Carolina is, and we saw this, we learned this the hard way last weekend, they have absolutely no bench. Brady Manek goes out, and his replacement And even I believe Caleb Love also fouled out. His replacement as well. It was a huge disparity in talent. And maybe it's not so much talent. It's just continuity. These guys haven't been playing. North Carolina hasn't played with much of a bench all season long, but they have some studs that start for them. But look, UCLA is well coached, and let's be honest, this was a top 2 team in the nation coming into the season, and they've had some hiccups and some interesting up and downs, but they've shown little to think that they don't have that level of upside. I mean, they absolutely trounced the St. Mary's team, who's a really good squad. And North Carolina upset Baylor, of course, but I thought it was a good matchup for them. Baylor's had some struggles with their offense this season, and they've certainly had some struggles with teams that want to get out and run. UCLA has no problem slowing a game like this down. And remember, it was this UCLA team that took the Zags to the wire in overtime last season. They are no stranger to this pressure. I think UCLA can consistently ISO their studs if they want. Of course, they expect them to run decent sets, but I really think they could just one-on-one most of these North Carolina guys on offense, and even taking advantage of a guy like Manick defensively. Individual matchup nightmares at nearly each position in favor of UCLA. Of course, North Carolina can counter with an efficient tempo, but it's just a big ask. I got UCLA much bigger in this spot than 2, so happy to lay 2 earlier in the week and glad it's still there for you guys. That's DK in New Jersey. May the odds be ever in our favor. Last but not least, Miami -2.5 versus Iowa State, total 133.5. Look, 2 teams that have very few had going this far into the tournament. Tons of credit to both, though. Miami had back-to-back brutal matchups for them. USC, Auburn, and they practically led wire to wire in both games. Very impressive on that side, winning almost both games with ease. This is a different matchup for them, though, and let's be honest, Iowa State has just been like a gnat in this tournament. They don't go away. And man, have they been really playing the exact type of basketball they want to play. I don't think a team scored more than 60 or more against this team in 2 games. I mean, sure, Wisconsin, LSU, but LSU should have been able to score more, especially with the pace they play at. And credit to Iowa State. Iowa State's played 2 tremendous defensive teams, and they've done enough to win despite that. Look, what's interesting here is expect Miami to try to run here a bit. Iowa State will certainly aim to snail this game to a crawl, though. Expect a lot of bad shots to be taken from both teams. Whichever team makes them is going to win here. I know it sounds cliche, but it's going to LOL. It's going to be an ugly game, but it'll be fun to see one of these 2 make the next round. I don't like anything in this game, nor do I love it. I think, like I said, you could argue for some value on the under, but it's a low number here. And if Iowa State kind of starts to concede baskets, they're going to want to speed this game up, and tempo could be there. Again, Miami does like to run at times, but Iowa State is going to love to slow this game down. But look, even Auburn felt like they were drawn dead against Miami. But look, a lot of 2 teams with a lot to play for, obviously, and it was so interesting that one of these 2 is going to be into the next round, because I don't think anybody would have had either of these two in the Elite 8. So kudos to them for playing well and getting there. But I want no part of this game. All right, so who does the Fax Man like a lot? So I haven't talked to him about this game, and I'll be honest, Gary, he's not a big March Madness guy. He doesn't really fire a lot in the Madness in the tournament. It's just this time of year, I promise you, he's betting the Miami Open in tennis, and maybe even some Challenger Series in tennis as well. He's not exactly firing heavy in March Madness. Again, these are tight lines. I like to fire in it because it does feel like these wins mean more, right? I mean, obviously they don't. I mean, every sports bet ticket that you bet, especially if you're a flat better like myself, it pays the same, right? A win's a win. It doesn't really matter how you get there. But these wins just kind of feel like they mean more, even like NFL playoffs, the blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I mean, ultimately, Corey, I appreciate that. I'm not sure if that comment came while I was stuttering. It's Faz. So appreciate that. What's up, Robert? And then, Twatty got the Dukies tonight and Carolina tomorrow. So that's interesting. So, yeah, I mean, Twatty, we're kind of going head-to-head there on both games, I think. Sad to say. But, hey, at least one of us will cash. Maybe we even go 1-1 where, we don't so much eat the vig. But either way, I didn't really look into props. I guess I could have, but as you guys know, I'm not really a props guy. I think you could find some advantages in props in these games, whether it's today, tomorrow, or whatnot. But I avoided it or dodged it, if you will. But either way, yeah, have a good early rounds here for Thursday, Friday in the Sweet 16. I wish you guys the best of luck with all your bets. As always, gamble responsibly. Be sure to check out Joey Works. Going to be previewing more of the MLB stuff as well, different divisions, different conferences. And of course, divisions, conferences, LOL, and give you futures in those. Obviously, some World Series futures, and just break down how these teams look coming into the year, which is going to be big and vital for a lot of you guys. Tyler Spread continuing to just crush the NBA shows, and of course, Kegger going live for the crew as well, where he just continues to just light it up on his end. So overall, a lot of good things going on our channel. Also, check out Run Pure Sports as well. They had a nice little video today breaking down much of the games as well, DFS and bets. But yeah, regardless, keep crushing, folks. Gamble responsibly, stay safe, and as always, run pure. I'll be back early Saturday to break down the games for then, and then Sunday as well. So stay tuned for all of that. But until then, I will see you next time. Thumbs